What do you know about Purvanchal? The eastern hills are collectively known as Purvanchal. These hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are sedimentary rocks. They are covered with dense forest. They mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. Purvanchal comprises of the Mizo Hills, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills, and Patkai Hills. How are the riverine islands formed? The rivers coming from the northern mountains carry alluvium with them and do the depositional work. In the lower coast, due to gentle slope, the velocity of the river decreases, which results in formation of riverine island. Classify the northern plains on the basis of location. Three plains: Punjab plain, Ganga plain, and Brahmaputra plain. The Punjab plain, the western part of the northern plain, is called as Punjab plain. It is formed by river Indus and its tributaries. Ganga plains, it extends between Ghaggar and Tista rivers. It is spread over the states of North India, that is Delhi, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, part of Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Brahmaputra plains, to the east of the Ganga plains lies the Brahmaputra plain. They particularly cover the areas of Assam. Write any three characteristics of Central Highlands. The part of the Peninsula Plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as Central Highland. Its characteristics are: they stretch from the north west with the Aravalli, further merging with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. They are wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau is locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is the easternmost part of the plateau, which is drained by the river Damodar. Differentiate between western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. The western coastal plains, it is narrow plain. This part of the plain receives rains from southwest monsoon. Narmada and Tapti river flow from it, forming estuaries. Eastern coastal plains, it is a wide and level plain. Coromandel coast receives rains from northeast monsoons. All the major peninsular rivers form a delta by making the land fertile. What do you know about valleys and dunes in Himalayas? The whole mountain system of Himalaya represents a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys, and fast flowing rivers. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalayas and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. Dehradun, Kotli Dun, and Patli Dun are some of the well known dunes. How are Andaman and Nicobar Islands formed? It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains in the Bay of Bengal. They are located on a submerged or submarine hill range and are probably formed by the volcanic eruptions. These islands lie close to equator and experience equatorial climate and have thick forest cover. What are the coral islands of India? Lakshadweep are the coral islands of India, as they are formed by small coral deposits. They were known as Lakadiv, Minikoi, and Amindev. It covers small area of 32 square kilometer. Mention the division of eastern coastal plain and western coastal plain. Eastern coastal plain is divided into northern Sarkar coast and Coromandel coast. Western coastal plain is divided into Konkan coast, Mumbai to Goa, Kannada coast, and Malabar coast. How does India have great physical variations? The land of India displays a great physical variation. The Peninsula Plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses on the Earth's surface. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. The Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms, but the Himalayas are the most unstable zone. The Himalayas represent a very youthful topography with the high peaks, deep valleys, and perennial rivers. The northern plains are formed by alluvial deposits. The Peninsula Plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks. Give 5 features of the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular land masses that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Satpura range flanks its broad base in the north, while the Mahadev, the Kaimur hills and the Michael range forms the eastward extension. It is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. Its northeast extension is locally known as Meghalaya and Karbi, Anglong Plateau and North Sachar Hills. It is separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. 3 prominent hill ranges from the west to east are the Garo, Khasi and Gentia hills. Why is the black soil area in the peninsular part called Deccan Trap? The black soil area in the Peninsula Plateau is called as Deccan Trap. It is formed by volcanic activity, so the rocks are igneous. These rocks have been denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil due to continuous flow of lava and extensive lava plateau. The Aravalli Hills lie on the western and northwestern margins of the Peninsula Plateau. These are highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. Describe the Peninsula Plateau of India. The Peninsula Plateau is a tableland and is composed of old crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. It has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. It consists of 2 broad divisions, the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. The eastward extension of the plateau is known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. Give main characteristics of the divisions of Great Peninsula Plateau. The Great Peninsula Plateau is the oldest landmass of the Indian subcontinent. It is divided into 2 parts, the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highland are made up of hard igneous and metamorphic rocks. The old Aravalli range borders it in the northwest. The Central Highlands further consist of the Malwa Plateau in the west and Chota Nagpur region in the east. The eastward extension of the Malwa Plateau is known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand in southern UP and northern MP. The Malwa Plateau is drained by the southern tributaries of the Yamuna and the Ganga. Damodar River drains the Chota Nagpur Plateau. The Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau extends from river Narmada to the southern tip of the peninsular India. It is one of the oldest earth blocks and is made up of hard igneous and metamorphic rocks. The Satpura range, northern Mahadev hills, Michael range, etc. form its northern edge. The western Ghats form in western edge, which is much steeper and higher than the eastern one. The plateau slopes gently towards the east. The eastern edge is marked by eastern Ghats, which are broken into small hills by rivers.